I mean, it's hard enough to be a working single mum.
Yeah.
You don't get finance from your
No.
ex, right? So you self-finance.
Self-finance, so anything my son wants gets paid for by me. Broke up with my son's father. Knew that I couldn't continue in the UK the way it was going. It was a very bad breakup. It was arguing constantly. That was no good for my son. That was no good for me. So got full custody of my child. Took a Skype interview in Cleveland Clinic in Abu Dhabi and packed up all of our belongings, not knowing a single person here, and moved myself and a 3-year-old here. Everyone, my friends were all like, oh, give her a year, give her 6 months, she'll be back. No.
Hi Anya, thank you for joining us on Parenting Without the Manual.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So we've just been talking for a while off camera,
Yes,
and I've been getting all the gossip and all the stuff. So you are a single mum.
Yes,
You're a
correct.
13-year-old boy.
Yes.
Serial entrepreneur. And,
Thank you for the flattery.
well, credit where credit's due. And you moved over here from the UK. So give us a little bit about where you are. I mean, we spoke about, just to pick up where we were from, we spoke about that you moved over here when your son was 3.
Yes.
So just talk me through that. So you broke up with your partner and you
So
moved over
broke
here.
up with my son's father. Didn't know anyone, but I'd been coming to Dubai for over 26 years on holiday. Knew, obviously, I liked the place. However, being on holiday is very different to setting up a life here. Knew that I couldn't continue in the UK the way it was going. It was a very bad breakup. It was arguing constantly. That was no good for my son. That was no good for me. So got full custody of my child. Took a Skype interview in Cleveland Clinic in Abu Dhabi and packed up all of our belongings, not knowing a single person here, and moved myself and a 3-year-old here. And then in the first week, I was like, oh, what have I done? But probably since 6 months after that, never looked back since, and never once wanted to go back to the UK since.
Yeah.
Everyone, my friends were all like, oh, give her a year, give her 6 months, she'll be back. No.
By the way, you were an early adopter because UAE 10 years ago, I mean, where it is today, it's really the pinnacle now. A lot of people is aspiring to live here, but I don't know if it was there. I don't know if everyone was ready for it 10 years ago.
No, not 10 years ago. It was like not the done thing. Not very many people had been here. It wasn't the scene that it was today. Like everyone sees Dubai as the place to be. Like it's great to holiday and it's the dream life, isn't it? 10 years ago, it probably wasn't that. It was just the fact that I was ready for something different, wanted a change in my life. My life had become stagnant, so I knew there was bigger and better things out there. So the breakdown of the relationship gave me the catalyst to move on and make better changes for myself and make a better life for myself and my son.
So that's interesting because you spoke to me a bit about like how you got into business. So you got a job here, right, when you first moved over here, and then you've pivoted and gone into business. So I mean, it's hard enough to be a working single mum.
Yeah.
You don't get finance from your ex, right? So you self-finance.
Self-finance, so anything my son wants gets paid for by me.
Yeah, and so how do you juggle that? What inspired you to go into business? Like, talk me through like the kind of the earlier years of parenthood and you then going, I'm going to become, you know, like what made you leave the job and not have the security and, you know, going to start your own business?
So my father's always been entrepreneurial, so obviously seeing him, in fact he's got a really interesting story that inspired me. He went from being an apprentice at his company to then buying the business and actually owning the business.
Right.
So he I didn't come from money. My dad worked his way up and owned multiple business and multimillionaire now, like all kudos to him. So I was like, what can I do that emulates his success and obviously makes him proud of me, the only daughter. So
But do you see the similarity, by the way, that he's inspired you and you want him to be proud of you, but actually you're inspiring your son?
Yeah, and 100% that's what I do. I even say to Caden, he's like, I'm a child. I'm like, no, you should be thinking about now what you can do to start a business and drive it into him, because I'm a firm believer of like the earlier you start, it pays off. He's like, leave me, I'm a child. I'm like, stop having this lazy attitude.
Do you know what? I thought I would homeschool my child, and when we got divorced, that just went out the window because it was out of my control because he lived with her.
Yeah.
But with what's happened now with the situation here in the UAE and schools closing, and I don't think they're going to open for a good few months, I don't know that I'm going to put him back to school. If anything, I'm actually thinking,
Yeah.
instead of spending the money that I spend on school, why don't I put that into him and him starting businesses at 9 years old? And even if he failed every single business for the next 2 or 3 years, for sure, by the time he's 11 or 12, he's going to find something successful that's going to run with.
I put my son to work now. So content creators, I own multiple businesses. I pay content creators. I'm like to my son, download CapCut, download this editing software, and he does it. He makes like the perfect marketing tools, like reels, anything. So I'm like, okay, every reel that you make me, I'll pay you 250 dirhams. Why are you sat around making nothing when you could actually make money? Go and buy your Lego or whatever. And I teach him the value of money.
Amazing.
Like if you want something, you work for it and you get rewarded in life.
Yeah, I think that's such a great thing to be teaching. And again, you're talking about something like CapCut. We are in an attention economy, understanding how to
100%.
do things now. Like you say, like you've obviously got salons, we're going to go into that, but I mean, whether you're a salon owner or a tire changer or whatever, you need to be a marketer.
Yeah, it's all about your personal brand.
Yeah,
like
and attention.
It's okay to have businesses and put the marketing on your businesses, but you are the personal brand. People buy from people these days.
Yeah.
So you should be putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and authenticity as well.
Yeah.
You know, like, and again, like you say, if you've got a salon, do you want to go to any hairdresser? Do you want to go to one that's branded a certain way, that understands you, that you can connect to the owner? I mean, you can look at Elon Musk and Tesla. I mean, or Steve Jobs and Apple.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
when you think of these brands, you think of those people straight away, even though you might not know them personally, right?
Yeah,
but you just feel like
exactly.
there's a security behind their beliefs and values.
Yeah, and you like. My dad said to me the other day, he was like, "What's the biggest company in the world now that makes the most money?" And you think of like Amazon, an e-commerce platform, like, and you think of the owner. So you always are like, to be like a brand. Lots of people now, the big ones, they know who owns the brand. So it is all about showing your face and these marketing reels and getting your kids to learn that. And don't waste time like doom scrolling or something. Actually be out there. Like these kids, like there's one somebody toys and they make like reviews and stuff.
The Asian kid, the Malaysian kid, Ryan.
Yes, Ryan.
Yeah.
Like look at him, like he's surpassed his parents.
Oh yeah, he makes like 35 million a year or something.
Exactly. So if children can be doing that, it's putting adults to shame.
By the way, they set that up when he was like, I mean, now he's like 13 or 14 or something. They set up when he was like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you again, in the early days, what was really and so funny because we used to watch Ryan, and I'd go out and buy my son the toys.
toy.
And I'm thinking they're getting those toys for free.
Yeah.
And they're making money as well, right? So like, well, I'm doing it wrong here. And actually, one of the things I teach on my platform is consumer versus creator. Because consumers, like you say, doom scrolling, you get fat and lazy.
Yeah.
And the creators are not there scrolling, they're there creating so that they can earn. And there's a big difference, you know, in where they see themselves.
But then I think it's about how you are as a parent, what you want to do. Like, are you okay coasting in life, or do you, like if you're like you, an entrepreneur, do you want to push your child to go along that path? So I think it's what your parent does and then what they teach their child to do.
1,000,000%. It's like, you know, what they say, what does it say? Like tap here over here.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. So okay, so you got over here. So you got inspired by your dad to go into business. So you're now working in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
You decide you're going to quit your job, or did you set the business up on the side, or how did you start?
No, so my father needed someone to go into the family business. The family business was in Dubai for 15 months. I had nothing to do with it whatsoever. So he was like, "Can you come and go into the family business and take control of it?" I was like, "Yes, okay." Obviously, he gave me percentage shares in it, so it was in my own interest to grow the business. We did that, and it took off like hugely. It was doing a multitude of different things, the events industry, packaging it was. And then I was like, that's great, but I want my own legacy and I want something to pass on to my child that has come from me. That's his thing. I always used to call him the foam spotter as a child because that was his thing. He loved packaging and what he did. So I was like, what can I do, what I am really like believe in and what I like to do? And of course, as a woman, I like to spend money. So what can I do that I spend money on? Rather than spending the money, I can get it for free and I can make money. So I sat with my hairdresser one day This would have been coming up to 6 years ago. Bearing in mind I was still running the family business, but I sat with my hairdresser and I was like, would you like to open a salon with me? She was like, thought it was, I was like talking rubbish. And then 13 weeks later, we opened our first salon together.
Yeah, I love it.
So we like yin and yang, I had no knowledge, like a balayage, this, somebody walks in and asks for this, I'm like, not me, I don't know anything. But obviously I do the business side, so I run the
branding and marketing
and the sales, do all the accountancy, look after the profit and loss, the balance sheet, everything like that. It comes under me. Everything admin related, anything customer face fronting, she does.
So like a talent spotter.
yeah. So obviously that gave me the want to do that, and the want doesn't stop at one. I want a big chain. Obviously, there's only so much you can earn with one. With a chain, obviously comes larger. So that's always my goal in life. It's not to live a comfortable life. It's to obviously earn money
and have purpose.
Yeah. So as a single parent, bringing it back to parent, I'm the sole provider for my son. So obviously, the more money, more I can support him, and the more value that I can add to his life, and different, I believe, like taking him traveling, different cultures, different things. So I always want to give him the best start in life and expose him to the most. So yes, and then I've opened 5 branches. I am really not an egotistical person, like if it doesn't work. So I've had a branch that didn't work in a location, close it down, move on to the next location, open it up. Some people in businesses, they're like, no, that's my baby, I need to hold on to it. I'm not like that. If the figures don't make sense to me, they don't make sense, so on to the next. So with the brand, The Perfect Blend, I've had 5 salons, there's currently 3. Do I want more? Yes. If I find the right location, there will be a next one. And then I own my own clothing brand, Sweats. It's an athleisure brand. Again, that was something I spend money on. I spend money on clothes, so it was natural to want something like that, where I can wear my own clothing and promote it and then make money from it. And also for these 2 brands as well, like what makes women feel nice if they get their hair done, if they get their makeup done, or if they're wearing clothes. So it is that nice feeling that somebody can go in and like be down on a certain day, but then walk away after something that you've done, like a business you own, and they're feeling better. So there is that element to it as well.
The synergy and cross-pollination. Well, what I want to ask you, so you sort of went into business then when your boy was about 7. Yeah?
Yes.
I suppose you was in your dad's business or whatever at some point as well.
Still have that.
So how was it? Well, a couple of things I guess I want to ask you. Being a single mum, raising a boy, what are the challenges? What are the things that you found helped you navigate through it?
So I've never really had a close relationship as much as I'd like to foster and offer an olive branch to his father and be involved. Like I used to pay for him to fly over here, so he'd still have that level of connection and seeing him. We just butt heads, unfortunately, and unfortunately, as much as I'd like to put that to one side for my son, it just doesn't seem to happen. So I quickly learned that I'm a believer of like energy tells everything. Like as much as you try and put something into something, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. So for the last 2 years, I don't really have any contact with him whatsoever. I've stopped paying for his flights to come over here. If he's chosen not to come over here, there's nothing more I can really do for that. I've tried my best for my son, and I'll always walk away and hold my head up, and I've got like messages to say that I've done this. If he wants to tell a different story, that's it. So that's one challenging, but then my father has always stepped up. So the football matches, if he wants to watch football, my father will go to the football matches with him, and they'll have like, it's nice that they've got a little bond. So I do believe that when someone steps away, someone else will step up. Yeah.
And then, and what about juggling time? Are you still able to be, in the midst of like today, you've got a an established business and businesses, but at the beginning,
So this was one of the drivers for me of why I didn't want to be an employee in a 9 to 5, because with that becomes there's no flexibility. If I wanted to go to my son's sports day, you have to ask permission and do something. Whereas, okay, owning businesses is not easy. I never get a single day off. From the moment I wake up in the morning, you've got WhatsApps. To the moment you get to go to bed, you've got WhatsApps. But it's always on my term. If I choose to put my phone away for an hour and go to my son's WhatsApp, I can do that. So I love the flexibility that owning a business gives me. I travel all the time with him. I'd say I'd spend 4 months of the year traveling. So again, I can run my businesses and be on the end of a phone, but I'll be sitting in the Bahamas somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, so I would never be able to go back to being an employee.
And do you think that because he's seen you that way, that he's focused more on being an entrepreneur himself?
Yeah. So this has caused like arguments between him and his father. He's like, what do you want to do when you're older? And my son will go, I want an e-commerce brand and I want my own business. And he'll go, oh, but it doesn't earn this. And my son's like, yeah, it does. And why are you arguing with a teenager? Like, just leave him to it. If that's what he wants to do, then foster what he wants to do. So yeah, he definitely sees that. But then again, does it give him like, he doesn't realise the hard work that goes behind it and the delusions of grandeur, and he's like, oh, my first car is going to be this because I own my own business, or I'm going to do No, it takes dedication. You can't just think that the rewards come. You have to work for it.
It's not about owning your own business, but owning your own successful business. And there's a big difference between two. But something you said to me off camera before we started is like, look, school doesn't teach you the stuff you need to learn.
Oh, 100%.
So just tell me, I mean, you told me, what got you into business was looking at your dad and being inspired, and you know, him having that business that then brought you in as well. But
running a successful business now is everything that he's taught me. It's not from when I went to university or when I did a Sage course and learnt about accounts. It's not about it's my dad showing me how to read a profit and loss, how to read a balance sheet, how to work out your EBITDA of a business. It's not about like I went and got a law degree and a business degree, but nothing of that is actually what you can put into practicality in a business. It's all about hands-on working. So I do that to my son. I'm like, right, you can come in and you can do this. As a 14-year-old, I was putting my dad's business over weekends or school holidays and learnt practically, and got paid like labour. And I'm a big believer that that's what teaches children, work ethic.
100%. So I studied accounts, law and business, incidentally, right? I was going to be an accountant or a lawyer, so I can kind of relate to a lot of stuff. And it's quite funny because I had a legal case that went on for a few years, and I got this top legal firm from London, central London, and I was dealing with the owner, and we were talking about stuff, and the more we would talk, and I'd make comments like, you're a businessman, so you're going to say it, and he'd go, Dan, you keep saying it to me, but I'm actually not a businessman. And he didn't have confidence in business, despite he had a big legal practice. I'm thinking, well, you've got, it's your practice, so therefore, but it astonishes me how some people don't actually have business skills, right? And they don't see themselves even as entrepreneurs, even if they work for themselves. And the difference in the progressive thinking of an entrepreneur is so different
100%
to the employee mindset.
And especially in like the salon industry, there's a difference between, and I'm probably going to get hated for saying that, but being a hairdresser to then owning a business, you don't have the skills to do that. And some people will get it, but there'll be an awful lot of failures because promoting yourself and working being individually is not going to create a successful business.
It's not a business. So just so we're clear. So something I learned with Tony Robbins is you're either a business operator or a business owner, right? A hairdresser is a business operator. It means then they can never sell that business because they are the business, right? When you have systems,
because they're selling time, they're selling themselves.
Time. When you have systems and you have a brand, which is what you're building when you have a chain, you're building a process where you can educate people, where you can have a certain standard where there's a loyalty to the brand, that if you sacked one hairdresser left tomorrow and you replaced her, that person's still going to come to you because they're buying the brand. And that's the intrinsic value. And so that's why being in business, it means different things, right, to different people. But definitely, I agree with you. So So this is an interesting thing that I battle with myself. I've got a feeling you might be on the same page, but I think we both agree that unfortunately schools don't teach the skills that we really need.
Yes, 100%.
Yet you're still putting your son in private school.
Yeah.
So talk to me. Why?
I think obviously I get pulled in multiple different directions of the day. If I was the wife of somebody rich and I sit there, would I love to homeschool? Yes, I would. I'd sit there and homeschool, but unfortunately that isn't an option for me. Do I believe that there's other systems out there that are probably better? Yes, but it's having the time to go and find them.
Yeah, I mean, in my humble opinion, there's actually not, right? I wish there was, and for some reason there's not.
Okay.
I haven't found them anywhere, and I've been looking.
Yeah.
I think that even homeschooling is probably better than school at some level. My experience of homeschooling, I might be wrong here, but the people I've spoken to, homeschoolers only school 2 to 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that you get to learn everything, or it's not exactly the same as being at school. It teaches some stuff that's still maybe not that much better. Maybe there's some courses, but I think it gives you more flexibility, which we kind of probably do anyway, but to have our kids travel with us or do more worldly stuff than just academic.
Yeah.
You know, but I think the academic stuff that's being taught is very antiquated and very...
100%. Who's going to sit there and say, oh, I learned pi, I can put that into my business?
Yeah.
And even
or
now...
life. I mean, not everyone's going to be an entrepreneur, but even life, where does it come in life?
Yeah, exactly. And even now, like, what's the point in learning that when you can go and use computers to look it up?
Yeah. And I would say that the skills, I was talking to someone before, and I said that, you know, if I asked my son, look, I grew up poor. My parents had an awful relationship. And again, I can reflect back on this and I understand it now. I didn't understand it when I was a kid, but they never got divorced at that time because the money was an issue.
Yeah.
And so I learned that I needed money to have options to be happy. Therefore, I needed to be successful so I could have options.
Yeah.
And so I said to my dad, how do I make money? And he said, you've got to become a doctor, lawyer, or accountant. Don't you probably heard the same stuff, right? And so I started pursuing, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And it happens that I fell into business and I learned different things. And actually, I'm so grateful that I'm not a lawyer, accountant, or a doctor, right? But I think that, gosh, my train of thought, 1 second.
Because again, like, those hold you in a position. You can only be a doctor. You have to be in an institute and you have to work there 9 to 5 or whatever your shift is. If you want to be a lawyer, again, you're tied to that place. I think the flexibility and the freedom that a business owner gives you is second to none.
Yeah, and so what I was going to say is actually now, if I asked my son what he wanted to be, and if he said, I want to be a YouTuber, I would go, that's probably a great job, right? You get to live your passion, do what you want to do.
And make more money.
Make more money than anyone else. Yeah, go on.
I was in Courchevel last week and Jake Paul was there. Like, look at him.
Yeah.
If my son wanted to be a Jake Paul, I'd like, go on then.
Yeah.
Like.
And what they're doing is they're pursuing being their own superhero. They're like pursuing their own passion.
Yeah.
And the reality is that's not being taught at school. And you go, why isn't it being taught? Because, and by the way, today that's relevant. God knows where the world's going to be in 10 years' time, right? Like, you know, think about how fast the world is changing, right? So even what's relevant today might not be relevant in 10 years' time.
Yeah.
But for sure, what was relevant 30 years ago isn't relevant today. Do you get?
And I kind of believe, like, these 9 to 5 and these doctors, these high pressure careers that they've got causes burnout. Like, there's only so much you can do and the pressure that comes with them. Whereas look at these content creators that are out living their best life, being filmed on a jet ski. Do you think that they have less mental health issues doing that?
Exactly. And they're more into fitness. They're more taking care of themselves.
Their image is priority.
Yeah. They've got access to all the best biohacking stuff. Whatever it is, they've got access to it. Whatever's interesting, they've got access to. So that's just what I mean. And that's a genuine career path now, by the way. And I don't think it's even being treated as it is.
100%. There's nothing like, I went to, my son's doing his options for his GCSEs. I went there and it was like, do you want to do economics, business studies? Do you want to do like sport? There's nothing catered to that. So I think if somebody came up with that, they'd be onto a real winner. Teaching those skills.
Well, I think the evolution definitely has to happen. I think like that there's 2 major systems that are really outdated and failing. I think it's the education system and the medical health system, right?
Yeah.
And I think that even the medical health system now has progressed some ways where the education system just hasn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that Yeah, but it's difficult as a parent.
Yeah, and I believe like what they teach in school is so antiquated now. When was the last time you sat down and you had a conversation with someone about something you learnt in history?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. That isn't. I'm a firm believer of your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
100%. Are you going to go and sit with someone and talk about
Yeah.
geographical
Yeah.
or
1966?
like,
Yeah.
you're not, are you? You're going to talk about crypto or you're going to talk about things that are relevant today. So why is there no subjects in schools of things that are relevant today and what people sit at tables and discuss?
And again, and in preparation for what's also coming, right? Because again, the things that they're learning at school, and then they go on to university, and then they get into debt, and etc. And
there's no financials teaching them how to manage their money. There should be like a course that teaches them that. Where's the best thing that you can invest your money? Like everyone knows, well, entrepreneurs and people with money know that your house is not an asset, it's a liability. If you were to rent a house, then it's bringing you money, it's an asset. People, they should teach these things in school, and I think society would be better for it. AI, that's huge nowadays. Anybody that's not learning about AI will be so far behind the curve. So why are schools not teaching this to children?
Do you know what? An additional subject is learning how to code, which you'd think is a good thing.
Yeah.
But coding is irrelevant nowadays. Now you talk to a computer. You don't need to know how to code. It will write the code for you.
On the drive on the way here, I was hearing that they're now introducing ChatGPT to your car, so you can be sat in your car and just talk to ChatGPT and get your answer. Like, why are they not teaching kids this?
And so then, when AI is going to come and replace so many things, it's the person that knows how to use AI that's going to have the power.
100%.
Right? And so therefore they need to be teaching that even from this young age.
Yeah, I do believe the world is changing and evolving and schooling is just not keeping up with that.
So what are the things that you do to empower your son as much as possible? And also in terms of, I don't know how much you're a believer in the feminine and masculine energy and things like this.
100%. I do believe that males have their roles, females have their positions.
Right.
I don't believe like in business so much like a woman. I'm always going to be the person that champions a woman can run a successful business like a man. But in the home, I do believe that people have their different roles. Like a woman should be obviously the family maker, the homemaker, and then the man ideally should be the provider. But if that's not going to happen, or I believe as well that couple, you come together as a powerhouse and you build together, and then here it's different. That's one of the things that I love about living here, the fact that we have it easy in the UK. It's not available to us so much that we have to come home and make the house or like clean the house and stuff.
We've got Deliveroo and Korean or whatever.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier here. But yeah, I still believe that a woman should be a woman, then they should make the family unit, whereas the man should.
So by the way, just to be clear, I think when you say about women in business, I would argue that women in business are even more successful than men in business and have actually got more skills. And I've like a big business in network marketing, and the leaders in network marketing are all generally women.
Yeah,
or like the vast majority. Yeah, in our particular company, the one who's been number one in the world more times than ever is a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I did this psychometric testing with my father, and I was like, I learned from you, but I'm actually better than you, and I scored higher.
Yeah.
I was like, because I've learned everything that you do, but then with my own,
exactly. And look, women, we're wired differently. So how do you then, and do you focus on bringing that masculinity out in your son as he's developing into his like teenage years and stuff?
I think I like him to spend time with his friends. So obviously developing with, I don't like hold him by me, and I expose him to a multitude of different things to grow that masculinity. Like I said, I'll send him to a football match with my dad to get that. That's not my thing. Send him to like taekwondo or something to get that protection for himself. Just different.
And what's your thoughts as well? I had friends of mine, I'm curious to know, like I have friends of mine that moved from here before I actually moved here. Actually, they lived here probably around from about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
About 5 years ago, they moved, and they went back to the UK. And
Yeah.
one of the things he said to me was that he feels like his kids are in a bubble here,
Yeah.
and he wants them to be a bit streetwise.
Yes, I've heard that quite a lot of times, that obviously they think it's safe. Like, my son's got a driver, I'll send him to the mall with a driver. Would I send him to the mall by himself in the UK? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So I do, especially because we travel a lot, I'll always say to him, if we're in America, no, stay by me, don't do this.
Yeah.
So I think for me, because I travel lots of different places, I always teach him that it's not Dubai. Dubai is safe, and we're not, when we're like exposing him to different things and teaching him that what we experience in Dubai is not what is in the world.
Yeah. Would you ever move out of Dubai knowing that, or would you be like, no, just?
Right now, 10 years in, I'm still happy in Dubai and I still see it as my home. Would I ever move if the opportunity came along? But I don't really like the conditions of other places. Like, do I love LA? Yes, I love LA. Do I love 40% property tax? Absolutely not.
Yeah, gotcha.
So at the moment, it doesn't appeal to me.
When was the last time you was in LA?
I was in LA last summer.
Okay, good.
Twice.
You couldn't get me to go to LA now.
Really?
Yeah, I was in LA about 3 years ago. I used to dream to live there. Again, the tax put me now. No one understands the tax put me off. But I think LA's a big place, so it's different parts. We was staying in downtown, and then we went over to
with the
Orange
homeless
County
in the tents and everything.
That's exactly, well, not just homeless in the tents. It's just crazy, all that crazy people. And I forgot I'd order an Uber, and this beat-up car come with like seats torn and everything, and stinking of weed, and you know, and then you forget here you're getting like a minimum Alexis. You know? It's just like it's just different, you know.
So one of my interesting story, one of my businesses that I did before, obviously we used to package for military, and we used to have to go to SHOT Show in Vegas every year. And this guy was chatting me up in the taxi, and then he said, "Where do you live?" And I said, "Dubai." Oh my goodness, he just flipped, and I was like, please. It became scary. I was like, please let me out.
Flipped
like,
in what respect?
He was just like, why you live there? This, and like questioning him. And it was just like, I've gone from being someone that he was like interested in to being like the most abnormal person, and how dare you live in that country.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I think it's been programmed in the Western world that all Arabs are terrorists. You know, so there's some stigma for some ignorant people.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is, and it couldn't be further from the truth, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I think that was probably like 4 years ago, so I think now
it's different.
It's different a bit now, especially being here for 10 years. I think it's evolved a little bit.
We're definitely mainstream now, as Dubai is definitely mainstream, wasn't before.
It's like the financial hub of the Middle East, isn't it? It's where lots of transactions go through.
I would argue it's becoming the financial hub of the world, not just the Middle East.
100%. And I believe that that's why it gets hated on, because of it's how far-thinking it is, and people are like, it's an envious thing.
Yeah. The jealousy is a thing for sure. So you've got Caden's an only child, right?
Yes.
How do you manage that? You ever thought about siblings, and how do you manage like I struck, because I've got friends of mine, they have like 2 or 3 kids.
Yep.
And it actually gives the parents more free time, because they just let the kids play with each other.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas I find that when you've got a single kid, which is what I've got as well, they need all of your time. And all your attention.
Yeah. So myself and Caden were so close growing up, but now as he's become a teen, he's pulling away, and no, I don't want to do that with you. I want to be with my friends. I want to do that. I would have loved to have had another child, because being a single child, I would have wanted him to have siblings, but it didn't happen. So you have to be blessed and thankful for the blessing that you've got, that I've got a child. There's lots of people that don't have a child. So very happy for that. But yeah, it upsets me a little bit how close we were and how we used to do things together. And even when we go on a holiday, I want to go back home. I want to be talking to my friends. Or we went on a staycation the weekend to try and support the economy. And
Where'd you go?
To One and Only on the Palm. And he was like, can I go to the water park with my friends?
Yeah,
sure. So even like going on holiday, he still wants to
have that
connection with his friends. So it is hard to know that it's just been me and Caden, and we've done so much together. For him now to, what do they say, as a parent you only get 18 summers, 18 Christmases. I feel like I don't even get that anymore. Even at Christmas, So going to the school that he goes to, one of his friends wanted to go to Courchevel, and he's like, "Can I go to Courchevel with them for Christmas?" No, you can't. You can't. You can't go to for Christmas. That's a family thing.
Yeah. You know, it's a hard life when you think you talk about going to Courchevel, like these, like you know, and not staying at the one and only. You know, funny, I was at the address just yesterday, funny enough, as well.
Yeah.
But
and I do. That is a conscious thing in my head. It's like, he'll say the maid, I'll go, no, the maid's not there to pick up after you. Like, she's there for other things. Do it yourself. Take your dish, go and wash up. And I just do make him do things, because I think, like, I hear these horror stories where these privileged children, they go to university and they're like, where's the maid? Why hasn't somebody unpacked my bag for me? So I do try and ground him a lot.
So here's an interesting question for you then. So as you're building your own little empire and your own little legacy, where do you see him fitting into that? Is it something that he would take over? Would you leave it to him? Do you think about like handing down the wealth and how that's going to affect him?
I am building my property portfolio for him, so that obviously it's passive income. He doesn't really want to work. I'm quite privileged being an only child that my father would pass his stuff to me. So that's what I want to see. Like, I know the troubles, especially in this climate. Like, obviously, there was an active war. How it affects businesses. So properties, if you've got a big enough portfolio, you don't have to deal with the troubles of like a staff member. You've got a structure in your business. So I've got managers, but staff members don't want to speak to the managers. They're coming to you because they want to hear it firsthand from you. So that, to me, I love my businesses, but is it a little bit of a headache? Do I think that there's easier ways to make money? Yeah, there is.
Yeah. I think that. What's your take on? So where were we? Should I go back to what was I forget what the question was. What the question was about would you? Yeah.
Giving it, handing. No, I wasn't given a silver spoon, so my son's not going to get that.
Yeah.
He'll be expected to do certain things for a certain amount of years. Do I have money in place for him when he matures and 21? Yeah, we've got accounts for him. But I will put him to work and get him experience. I believe in life experience. He's got to learn the hards, the failures, as well as the positives. So yeah, he'll be by himself for a while, and then when he's 25 or becomes of a certain age, then I will pass some things over to him.
Right, so the team put some questions for me to ask you. So I've got here, okay, you operate in high stakes environments where growth and ROI are everything. How do you translate those leadership skills into parenting? And what is the ROI you look for in your children that tells you they are developing into the people you want them to be?
So personal skills for me, like, again, what I said to you, your network is your net worth. If you can't sit and hold a conversation with someone, if he's shy and he can't go and shake somebody's hand or make conversation, that's the most thing that I'm proudest of him. He will go into any room, he'll shake someone's hand and have a conversation. How are you? And I believe that opens doors. It's all about who you know, not what you know in this in this day and age, and especially here in Dubai. So yeah, giving him that confidence to not be afraid of his own opinions. Like, if you have your own opinions and someone doesn't believe in the same, that's fair enough. But that's what makes everyone individual and what makes the world go around. It would be boring if we were all clones of each other. So to be able to hold your own and have a conversation with someone, I believe is a really good skill to teach a child. Not to sit there and become a mute. Yeah.
Okay, right, we've got here, right. Your professional life is focused on high-end aesthetics and luxury lifestyle services. When it comes to your home life, how do you balance providing a beautiful, comfortable environment for your children with the need to ensure they remain grounded and understand the effort required to build that life?
Like I said, it's I put him to work. So if you want something in life, it's not just ask and have. You have to do something, whether that be go walk the dogs, go wash the cars, go make a cup of tea, go make me a reel for one of my businesses. It's not just you go to the mall and here's mom's credit card, go and spend what you want. No, money doesn't grow on trees. I have to work hard for it, so you're going to have to do something to earn that.
I love that. I think these are major skills. Right. As a travel addict who often brings her children along, you're raising them as global citizens. What is one specific lesson or perspective they've picked up from their travels that you feel is more valuable than anything they could learn in a traditional classroom?
That he's privileged. Right. The fact that going to Zanzibar, say for
Yes,
example, and
yeah.
they've got no TV and they're
Yeah.
playing out the simple things in life that they're playing on a road with a ball. You don't need technology to keep you amused. Go outside and go and get your tennis racket and go and play with your friends, play paddle or do something. You don't need technology around you to keep you engaged or keep you occupied 24/7. There's simpler things that you can do as a child, and you're so privileged as a kid to be able to have this VR headset or to be able to have this. Think of yourself as privileged and think of other people and how you can help other people.
It's interesting, right? So as the schools are closed, and I'm probably going to make the decision to pivot into more homeschooling and world schooling.
Yeah.
And my goal is to, as we launch our business, is to travel to places in Africa, in India, work with underprivileged children, have an impact, but take my kid with me and help him get involved and see those things. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, a big part when we were, as he was growing up, I've taken him on private jets, we've done helicopters and boats and yachts, so he's done all of that stuff, and so he knows what's there. But I think, like, you know, also seeing the other side of the world, so he's grateful for what he's got. So I wanted to have the belief in one side that he can be, do and have anything.
And he can achieve that.
And he can achieve it, and at the same time be respectful and grateful and understand the difference that, you know, where we are in the world.
Yeah, 100%. Teach that you can have it all, but in an instant it can be taken away from you, and you could be one of these people, be thankful that you weren't born to that as well. So yeah, I do definitely teach my child that.
There's a lot of pressure on CEO mums to make everything look effortless. What is one part of your parenting journey that isn't Pinterest perfect, and how has that specific challenge actually made you a better leader in your businesses?
So it's prioritising things and having a managed diary and being organised, having boundaries and saying, no, I blocked this time and I'm doing this at a certain time, and not running around like a headless chicken. Like, you have priorities in life and what comes first, and having boundaries. So if somebody wants you but you're in a meeting, no, you don't have access to me. This is a priority and I finish this. If I'm spending time with my child, I'm spending time with my child. Unless my building is burning down or someone's died, that's not a priority to me right now. So I do believe that it is all about boundaries and creating time blocks and giving everything its own value in your day. Otherwise, you would just literally be being pulled in so many different directions. Saying that, I am a little bit of a control freak, and do I switch off? If my son's like at a football game and I'm sat there watching him, do I have a quick sneak on my phone and check my figures and the reports of what I've done for that day? Yes, but would I answer a phone call? No, because that's his time.
Gotcha. No, I love it. I agree, by the way. Okay. With your focus on community building through your various brands, how do you teach your children to find and build their own tribe? And in a digital world, how are you encouraging them to prioritize deep offline human connections?
So to find something that he's passionate in and go and build friendship around that. So my son wants to go and play paddle. It's something that he wanted to do. So go into the community and find other children in the community that want to join you and do that specific activity. Like, I believe that you should create friendships based on something that you have central between you that you can actually build conversations around and do jointly. So that's like a community element, isn't it? One of the things that I'm doing with one of my businesses at the moment is we have the Sweats brand and then we have Sweats community. So at the moment it's going around and helping other businesses to say, obviously they need help, what can we do, and elevating people. And I believe like we should all work together, and children should be taught that fostering community here is so important. So
teamwork makes the dream work.
100%.
I also think you were talking about AI and the importance of AI, but I think that, and it's something that we're doing within our brand as well. And I think I mentioned this to you, right? That there's a parent community. Did I say that or not? There's where we've got like the student stuff and we've got the parent dashboard, but the student stuff is closed and protected. But there's a parent community, so conscious parents can talk to conscious parents.
Talk to each other and get experience.
But I think that community is so important in any brand now that you need to be building a community within your brand.
And that's what I love about being in Dubai. I think Dubai is so community-led. In the UK, you don't see it at all, do you?
Well, and again, going back to teamwork makes the dream work, Dubai's been built over 25 years. What's incredible here, you come here and actually, you said something to me off camera, let me introduce you to this, let me introduce you to that, and that's Dubai.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, who have I got that can help you? Let me open my phone and give
my
it
little
to you.
black book can tell you this.
You can go to someone in the UK and go, can you help me with this? I don't know anyone, sorry.
I want 10%.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know that's it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, they gatekeep.
Yeah,
you know,
gatekeeping.
But that's why Dubai has evolved and become the place that it is.
But that's the way I'd rather work. I'd rather work that I've done you a favour. So when the time comes, you'll be willing to do me a favour.
And it builds a much better relationship, and it builds a tribe, and it builds that community.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
So,
and I do think that Dubai does that fantastically.
It does. You still got to find the right people, by the way, because there's also not a lot of right people. But
yes, I've been caught out with that owning brands a few times, like paying someone to do a website and being told when it's about to launch and having no website. And then having to learn the skill of yourself to develop a Shopify store.
Look, been there, done that, lost a load of money, along the way. So as we come to a close, I want to ask you, right? Successful mum, done it on your own. What advice would you give to another mum out there, maybe going through a split, maybe going through divorce, maybe on her own, either could be have her own business and struggling to manage the time because of the pressures, or maybe struggling financially and thinking, how do I start my own business? What kind of advice would you give?
I think you've got to have a passion for what you're doing, because if you don't have a passion, it becomes a nightmare, and then you're always putting things off. You always need to have a want to do something. Again, networking, there's always someone in your network that you can find to help you. It's the most powerful tool that I think any person has got, is their network. Just having a conversation with someone, and I know this person that can help you, like we had off camera. And also believe in yourself. Like, my driving force was my son. I needed to do it for my son. So as a parent, I think that's your superpower, that you need to do it for a child. They're sat there, they're watching you. Don't be sat in your bed like crying. I'm a big believer that if something's happened, crying's not going to change it. Pick yourself up, deal with the situation, and make the best of it. So
I love that. Anya, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing some nuggets with us. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it too. Thank you.